What's up, guys? This is Gishi, and you are watching my Last Faith boss strategy series. In this video, I will be discussing strategy and other important information pertaining to the Lord Patryk Laddak fight. And bam! There it is. So, before we get started on the strategy part of the video, it's important that I let you know that if you aren't satisfied with your progress in the game, you should turn back now. Laddak is not the final boss, but if you kill him and then return to the manor, it will be completely empty. You'll still be able to level up and upgrade your weapons, but you won't be able to complete any of the game's side quests after this point. So, now that we have that out of the way, Lord Patryk Laddak is one of the final bosses you will encounter in the Last Faith, and one of the most difficult in the game. He can be found in the top levels of the Judas Ministry. This boss fight has two phases, which we will be going over one at a time. The first phase of this fight is substantially easier than the second, so you're going to want to try to evade damage as much as possible during this phase in order to save as many potions as you can for the second phase of the fight. All of Laddak's attacks for this phase, and actually the second phase as well, are going to be long range and lightning based, dealing electric damage. He has the ability to teleport to any location in the arena and will do it after almost every attack. Because of this, you may find yourself trying to chase him around the arena, but the best thing to actually do during this phase is to prioritize evasion and try to do as much damage as you can every time you're able to safely connect. Laddak has a brief cooling down period after each attack before he's able to teleport, so it helps to use a fast weapon like the Nightfall Blade during this phase if you're proficient with it, because you should be able to take advantage of this cooling down period with multiple hits. Laddak has 4 different types of lightning attack during this phase. Number 1. Hand Lightning. Laddak will emit a horizontal bolt from his hands that affects the area directly in front of him. He will normally teleport directly in front of you before using this attack. You can avoid this attack by remembering to jump above the area of influence as you approach him. This will allow you to get behind him and get a few hits in. However, if you don't have enough time to jump, you can avoid it by ducking too. He will signal this attack with this pose. Number 2. Pinwheel Lightning. Laddak will launch a rotating pinwheel of lightning that will change direction twice before fading. He will signal this attack by holding his hand low to the ground and quickly raising it up as he throws the orb that creates the pinwheel. The easiest way to avoid this attack is by simply staying low to the ground and moving between the areas of influence as they rotate. Number 3. Multi-Lightning. Laddak will spawn several bolts of lightning that spread across the arena. He will signal this attack by holding both arms out to his sides. This attack is pretty easy to avoid. Just find a safe spot to stand between the bolts and stop moving until they touch down. Number 4. Homing Lightning. Laddak will spawn a delayed bolt that will attempt to home in on your location. He will signal this attack by touching his hand to the ground for an extended period of time before raising it above his head. To avoid this attack, wait for the bolt to come close to you and then dodge roll through it and run towards him once it's inches away from you. After you have completed the first phase of the fight, a brief cutscene will play while Laddak transforms into his demon form, signaling phase 2. Laddak is able to levitate during this phase of the fight, but his hitbox is also absolutely massive thanks to those floppy old wings of his, which he doesn't seem to ever actually use, so you should still be able to hit him from the ground most of the time. It helps to switch to a slower, higher damage weapon during this phase because your windows of opportunity to hit him in between his teleportations are going to be shorter and less frequent. Otherwise, the strategy is similar to phase 1. Focus on evading his attacks, don't get too greedy with your own, and try to land a couple hits on him every time an opportunity presents itself. Laddak's phase 2 attacks are as follows. Number 1. Homing plus Multi-Bolt. This is a combination of 2 phase 1 attacks in quick succession. When you see the homing lightning moving across the ground, follow the same strategy to dodge roll out of its path, then quickly find a safe place to stand in between the multi-bolts. About half the time, you will get lucky and dodge roll into a safe spot where you can just stand still and wait for him to finish the second half of the attack. This is also a good time to use a potion. If you do, however, land in an unsafe area, you should have enough time to quickly move out of the way. It is also important to note that the amount of time before the homing bolt touches down is much shorter than in Phase 1. Number 2. Triple Claw Attack. Laddak will spawn 3 claws made out of lightning in quick succession that will quickly dissipate after swiping at you. The attack will always consist of 2 horizontal claws that will chase you across the arena and 1 vertical claw that will rise from the ground. The 2 horizontal claws will always occur back to back, so consequentially the vertical claw will occur either before or after them, but never in between. The 2 horizontal claws can easily be avoided by simply running away from Laddak until they are gone. The vertical claw is a little more difficult. If it appears first, you can avoid taking damage by quickly dodge rolling out of its path as soon as it appeared. If the horizontal claws appear first, you're going to want to run the opposite direction like normal, and as soon as the second one is gone, perform a double jump. Number 3. Curved Lightning. Laddak will send out 2 rounds of curved lightning, which will travel horizontally across the entire arena. After his life total drops below 50%, this number will increase to 4 rather than 2. He will teleport after each bolt before throwing the next one. This can occur as either 1 large bolt or 2 smaller bolts with a gap in the middle. The large bolt can be avoided by either rolling under it if it's positioned high or double jumping over it if it's positioned low. The 2 smaller bolts are a little trickier. You need to wait until they're close and then perform a single jump and air dash through the gap between them. Number 4. The Multi Bolt. This attack will only occur at specific times, when Laddak's HP total reaches 75% and 25%. Laddak will disappear from the arena and reappear on the horizon before using the multi-bolt 6 times in rapid succession. He can't take damage during this attack, so you can focus all of your attention on finding safe places to stand between the bolts. Number 5. Mini Side Boss. When Laddak's HP total reaches 50%, he will disappear from the arena and reappear on the horizon before summoning 2 pale laments to fight you, which are identical to the ones you fought earlier in the game. They should be relatively easy to take out this time, considering the fact that you should be considerably stronger than you were the first time. I would recommend saving your MP for this part of the fight, because the pale laments can be very quickly taken down with a couple well-aimed spells or weapon abilities. The Laddak boss fight as a whole can tend to feel long and drawn out at times because so much of your effort needs to be put into avoiding getting hit by a target that is constantly moving and teleporting across the arena. It can be extremely frustrating because there will be periods of time where you won't be able to land a hit for an extended period of time. But like I said, if you focus on evasion and just try to do as much damage as possible whenever the opportunity arises, you shouldn't have too much trouble completing this fight. The reward for completing this fight is a Heart of Nycrux and access to the game's true final bosses, assuming you completed the proper side quests. Hey, thank you guys so much for checking out my video. I hope I was able to help you defeat Laddak, and also to hopefully prevent some of you from completing this fight before you finish all the side quests. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want to see me do more of this type of video for any other specific games. Until next time, this is Gishi, checking out.